Langford Lawson and Lawson-Langford and James Elliott. So you were saying, and just before we took a quick break, talking about how So please continue, because you're on a really great thought, and it was a shame I had to cut you off because of the LinkedIn minutes thing.
No, all good. Technology is awesome, thankfully, and it's awesome until it's not. So good. We were just chatting a little bit about the idea of that kind of work-life balance. And that feels like a myth to me, because then we feel like there is this scale. And if I give an hour here, I have to give an hour here. Well, it's not possible. And it's not necessary, right? In terms of, it is about being present for whomever needs you at the time. And so I talk to a lot of people about work-life integration, right? And one of the overarching themes when I work with people using that wellness model, and then dig into the more of the wellness goal setting, we work on some coaching around time management. And people go, well, wait a minute, where did that come from? But an overarching theme is, if you don't know how, or haven't yet figured out how to manage your time, literally down to the 5-minute blocks, like I will look at that in my day to see how, all those things need to come together. Yep. And if you're not yet balancing or integrating that time, then it feels really challenging to look at all those areas of wellness, right? So there's so many sort of steps that really bring things together much more efficiently, and allow you then to say, okay, I can give time to my partner, or my child, or my business, or whatever the case is, right? Without feeling like you're missing something, without feeling, and that's the theory. And I know I feel often when I'm like, I got to do this, and the dog needs out, and this and that, and this kid, it is the reality. And that's why we need that emotion management plan to say, oh, okay, I feel like things are starting to bubble. What are we going to do now? I'm choosing to pop outside for a few minutes. I'm going to take my deep breaths. I'm going to pop my 5-minute meditation, whatever the case is, to recognize those emotional triggers so that you can just implement the plan that you've created, right? And try to, kind of get back under control a little bit, to make sure that you really have the best outcome for whomever it is that you need to serve at that time.
And I think you're right. I think it's all about stepping back and not being in that crazy tree, as my friend says, right? You're coming down from the crazy tree. And whether it's a breath, whether it's a walk, whether it's sitting, whether it's a nap, whatever it is, a cold shower is great too, or a warm shower. It's great to sort of reset back, take a break, because when we're anxious and we're swimming amidst everything, it's okay. What do I do? And what do I prioritize? What do I do first? And we're just all in this mess, and we're spinning in this headspace where we're not getting anything done, or we're not getting important things done. Maybe we're doing certain things, or doing busy work, or whatever. We're procrastinating because we're not focusing. Okay, what do I really need? What's the most important thing I can do in this second, or this moment, or this hour? Yeah. And I think to do something, do anything except continue to sit and stew there when you know it's not working. And that's at least what I tell people, is when you realize it's not working, you're overwhelmed, you're freaking out, it's not working, and you're stressed, you can't get anything done, you're wasting time, you realize you're procrastinating or not doing what you want to do. Yeah, step back, take a minute. And
right? And I'll often say to folks, I really want you to work on that self-awareness piece, because I think that's really what it is to say, I need to recognize when I feel like I'm in the middle of the ocean in that storm, right? And many times I've had so many clients say, well, the emotions snuck up on me. And I say, is that the case? Change some back. Let's step back a little bit and figure out what happened. And my a client of mine keeps joking. She says, I need to put this on a t-shirt. Look at it with interest and not judgment, which I say to people all the time. When we judge ourselves and say, oh, I'm a bad mom because I wasn't able to do this for my kid. You're not a bad mom. You are doing your best. You are doing your best. So let's look at it and have some curiosity to say, hey, I wonder why that happened, instead of that really negative kind of self-shaming spiral we can get in, right? Say, I wonder why that happened. I'm going to be really thoughtful about next time when I feel like things snuck up on me. I'm going to say, oh, wait a minute, there's that thing. My shoulders are shrugging. My jaw is clenching. Oh, those are the triggers that tell me what's about to happen. Right? And it's really interesting. I'll often liken it to, we have a puppy, and we're actually bringing another puppy home shortly. So I'll liken it to watching dogs, and how, you can tell what they're thinking and what they're doing by the way their body language is. We've got a dog that's got a tail tucked and their ears are down, and you can go, Or if there's teeth bared, maybe I shouldn't approach that dog, right? So it is about learning that kind of signal from ourselves so we can intervene and have a more positive outcome. Again, looking at it with interest and stop judging ourselves. This is a really hard time for so many people. And, my hashtag in much of my social is just kindness wins. Like, be kinder to everybody, be kinder to yourself first and foremost. That's what's going to move us forward, right?
And I found myself years ago judging and worrying so much about I'm not getting everything done in the day, and it caused a lot of anxiety and stress, which further degraded the performance of what I was doing. But yeah, stress, worry, anxiety. Oh, I'm not getting it all done today, or I didn't get it all done. I just feel guilty and a little bit of grief, and I'm like, whatever words yourself in your head. But it's like you can't. Our list as business people never be done. Our list, we'll die with stuff on our list. It's going to happen. But I think he said, look at it instead of with judgment, with interest. And so, did I do my best today? Where could I have done better? What mistakes did I make? And was it working on the most important things, such that if nothing, if things never get completely finished, or if I never get every single thing done on my to-do list, did I at least get things done that were important? The little stuff maybe didn't get done. Who cares? Did I get one thing? Did I move forward, or did I just do a bunch of little piddly tasks because I was stewing and running around in my head, and really I got nothing important done other than yet another day goes by and I didn't really achieve what I want? So, like I said, looking with interest and really taking a look. Think about your thinking, guys. Think about your thinking and look at your day. Look at what you're doing. Look at yourself. Is this who I really want to be? Is this what I want to achieve? Do I need to step back for a second? Do we need to step back for a second? Take a break. Take a rest. Take a long weekend. Something.
Sure. Yeah, and it's so interesting, right? When people, I'll say to business folks, okay, tell me your mission, vision, values through their business. And they, rhyme it out and all that comes, and they can give me their elevator pitch, and they can give me, and I say, okay, that's really awesome. Now I know a bit more about you. What about your mission, vision, and values for your mental health? And they go, what are you talking about? Like, what? And so I have actually worked with a couple of folks that I said, create what is your value system around emotional wellness, around your relationships. Do you prioritize your relationships? Do you prioritize your spiritual health and whatever the spiritual component looks like for some folks, right? Sometimes it has a religious component, sometimes it doesn't. So people define that however it suits them, right?
Yeah.
And so I get to really have a look at that, right? To say, well, have you actually dug into what is really important? And then the people that will say, hey, yeah, I have. Yes, I prioritize. And then I was like, okay, awesome. So, I'm going to have a strong coach moment and ask you to share with me your calendar. What does your calendar look like? What does your calendar actually say? Oh, your calendar says you're all about business and you didn't prioritize any other relationships. With interest, not judgment. I'm not judging you for it. But if you want to move ahead, that's like one of my first action steps. You have to get real on the things that you are not doing well, what are you lying to yourself about? That's kind of one of those, things I had heard in one of our coaching webinars a little while ago. And I thought, wow, that's powerful, right? You're lying to yourself and you're like, yes, I'm prioritizing my relationship, but I actually haven't phoned that person for a month, right? Those are really that self-awareness again, right?
Yeah, I think exactly that. Self-awareness, thinking about your thinking, and the I don't have time for is a limiting decision. It really is. It's all about balance. What are we balancing? What are we prioritizing? I mean, people that are super successful, super rich, or super whatever, they still have the same 24 hours in a day with us. Yeah. It's like, why are they getting? Well, they're prioritizing things differently. And I promise you, if you prioritize your relationships with the right people, then your life will take off, your business will take off. Tell us, Deanna, how can people reach you? How can they find out more about you? Share. Let's learn how to reach you. How can people get a hold of you?
Absolutely. So you can find me my website at DeannaLangfordCoaching.com, and Facebook, Instagram, same DeannaLangfordCoaching.com, or message me directly at Deanna at DeannaLangfordCoaching.com. So there's a theme in there that it should be pretty easy.
Beautiful. Deanna Langford. Perfect. Amazing. Thanks for being on today. This has been really valuable. I hope people get some value and reach out and follow you as well on your different social media. Also, I think that's a great way to learn more and follow you. There's some great tips. And again, your health is your wealth, and we often ignore it. Then we make money, and then we're like, we spend all our money trying to get back to being healthy when we could have just mentally, emotionally, spiritually kept it up to begin with, right?
It's true. Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much.